There's a silent battle we all fight against the invisible chains of attachment that bind us to people who no longer serve our peace. These chains tighten with every longing glance, every sleepless night, and every unspoken word. But what if I told you that the power to break free has always been within you? What if we could uncover an ancient, time-tested wisdom that teaches us not just to endure heartbreak, but to transcend it entirely? The Stoics believed that we are not victims of our emotions, but their masters. Today, we explore how Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus can guide us to emotional freedom. This isn't about forgetting someone or numbing yourself to pain. It's about reclaiming control, finding fortitude, and walking forward with unshakable resolve. Rule 1. Face the fragility of life. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius. The first step to emotional detachment is understanding the fragility of life and relationships. The Stoics remind us that nothing is permanent, not even the bonds we hold closest. This might sound harsh, but it's liberating. When we truly internalize the temporary nature of all things, the weight of attachment begins to lift. Marcus Aurelius meditated on death daily, not to live in fear, but to live fully. If we remind ourselves that the people we care for, and even we ourselves, are mortal and fleeting, we approach relationships with gratitude rather than dependency. Love becomes a gift we cherish in the moment, not a chain that binds us. So we ask ourselves, if this person were to leave today, would we fall apart? Or could we stand tall, having appreciated the time we shared while accepting its end as part of life's design? Rule 2. Master the dichotomy of control. We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them. Epictetus. The Stoics teach us a profound truth. Our pain often comes from trying to control what is beyond our reach. When we attach ourselves to someone, we often attach to their choices, their emotions, and their presence. But none of these things are ours to command. Imagine holding sand in your hand. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. Relationships are much the same. The more we try to control, the more we suffer. Epictetus reminds us that the only domain we truly govern is our own mind and actions. To detach emotionally, we must focus on this inner domain. Let go of the futile desire to change others. Instead, cultivate the strength to govern your reactions, your thoughts, and your behaviors. Ask yourself daily, what is in my control? What is not? Then, release what doesn't belong to you. Rule 3. Practice premeditation malorum, the premeditation of evils. Fortune falls heavily on those for whom she's unexpected. The one always on the lookout easily endures. Seneca. One of the most powerful Stoic tools for emotional detachment is premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of misfortunes. This practice involves imagining the worst-case scenario, not to wallow in despair, but to steel yourself against it. When it comes to relationships, this means envisioning life without the person you're attached to. What if they left? What if they betrayed you? What if circumstances pulled you apart? Visualizing these outcomes prepares your mind to accept them, should they occur. Seneca reminds us that we arm ourselves by expecting life's challenges. When the storm comes, we are not shaken because we have rehearsed it in the safety of our thoughts. Instead of clinging to illusions, we learn to embrace reality with grace and strength. Rule 4. Love with virtue, not dependency. Love is the attempt to form a friendship inspired by beauty. Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics saw love not as an emotional trap, but as a virtue, a higher form of connection based on mutual respect and selflessness. Emotional attachment, by contrast, often stems from a place of dependency, the belief that we need someone to feel whole. To emotionally detach, we must elevate love. Love them not because they fill a void in you, but because you genuinely wish them well, even if their path diverges from yours. This is agape, the selfless love the Stoics revered. Ask yourself, is my love driven by fear or by virtue? When we remove fear, jealousy, and control from love, we are left with something pure, something that does not tether us to the whims of others, but uplifts us regardless of their presence or absence. Rule 5. Cultivate inner strength through solitude. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Marcus Aurelius. At the core of Stoic detachment lies an unyielding truth. We must learn to stand alone. Solitude is not a punishment, but a sanctuary, a space where we discover the depths of our own resilience. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about retreating into the self, This was not an act of isolation, but of self-discovery. In solitude, we confront our fears, our pain, and our weaknesses, and we emerge stronger. When we depend on others for our happiness, we give away our power. But when we cultivate inner strength, we become unshakable. Spend time alone, reflect. Build your inner citadel so that no storm, no loss, no departure can break you. The unshakable path to freedom. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Zeno of Citium. Emotional detachment is not a rejection of love or connection. It is a higher form of freedom, a state where we love deeply, yet remain unshaken by loss. It is not about feeling less, but about feeling rightly, with clarity and strength. We have walked together through 5 rules. Accept the fragility of life. Focus on what you can control. Prepare for loss with negative visualization. Reframe love as virtue, not dependency. Build inner strength through solitude. Each of these rules forms a piece of the unshakable armor we wear as seekers of self-mastery. Together, we rise above the chaos of destructive emotions. Together, we step into the light of fortitude, self-control, and peace. Remember, freedom is not found in the absence of pain, but in our ability to rise above it. This is the path of Stoicism. This is the path of those who refuse to be ruled by their emotions. Let us walk it together.